Morning, Aaron. This is just going to make today really uninteresting to trade. That's going to make today super uninteresting to trade. Sorry, I'm a little tired this morning. But yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, if we come over and lose this low, man, that's going to make it really hard to trade. Yeah, it is. I needed some manner of retracement here to the upside to get into a short. I can't just short it right down here. Nope, can't do that. It's too low, man. It's too low. I can't do it. Can't do it. Yep, every area I wanted to short from was higher up. Well, I guess that means I got to talk about longs. Since I can't short, I guess I have to talk about longs. Nothing I really love. Nothing I really love. What was it? Was it on like the 90-minute? No, 45? God, I thought I saw something. 1 hour? Where the hell was it? 2 hour? I can't find it. Maybe that's because it doesn't exist. Maybe that's because it actually doesn't exist. Hmm. Yeah, I think there's probably a scalp to be had off the low, but I don't think it's going to live long. No, I really don't suspect it will live long. It's not fun, man. It's not fun. It's not a fun place to trade. it's just not going to be fun. I'm like theorizing some positions right now, but I think this is going to be watch market structure like a hawk kind of a situation, and I don't really have a better. God, there's so many little micro zones up in here that are of interest. There's, I don't love the idea of just an initiation and then only mitigating back into here for a continuation down. I'd like to see a deeper mitigation, but you're going to break some pretty good structure by the time you get above that. So I feel like this entire zone is the one that's going to have to be watched for if we get a lower low for the lower high for the lower low. I feel like it's like this whole zone that's going to have to be watched in here, which is like, yeah, whatever, 83.6 to 81.7, right? In that whole area in here, I'm going to have to be watching for a market structure transition in the event that we break this low. And then start coming up. I got to look anywhere inside of this guy. All right, and then let's see if this were to work. I think I'd have a really hard time targeting more than that right now. I think that would be, yeah, I think I'd have a hard time targeting more than that. No, I don't want to see this mitigated first. We'll just come back to that later and see how it's doing. Sorry, guys, super tired. Aaron, what's up? Mikey, Janice, Anthony Soprano, Miba, Dex, Gulat. Yeah, we can take a look at XRP. Got in a bad trade with small leverage yesterday. Looks like copium from you now. Already dropped below 2. Okay, yeah, we can take a look. And good morning, Luke. Yeah, we'll take a look at XRP. Nothing about this area is no. I have to delete this stuff. I can leave that on. That's about all I can leave on for now. It's about all I can leave on for now. And then we'll go take a look at XRP. Best thing that could happen today, in my opinion, is this. That is the best thing that could happen today. Fill this gap. That would be very nice if we could see that happen. Oh, what a disrespectful chart. We're going to XRP. XRP. XRP, please. Well, I don't have a ton of good news on this. Looks like yesterday SFP'd the high, broke the low, retested that. It honestly looks like it's coming down here. I think it looks like it's coming down there. Now, does that mean that it can't retrace in between now and then to get you a little bit of breathing room on that? Yeah, it probably can. It probably can. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's doing the same kind of weird thing that Bitcoin's doing right now. And it's not looking particularly good. It's like below that low, but didn't smash below the low. And then you have this little wee bit that you knocked into here, and I really feel as though it's going to come back to that, and I don't think that is going to hold. I don't think that's going to hold. I would say you're only, if you get a really shallow SFP of that, that might not be such a bad situation. That might not be such a terrible situation. Let's think through that for a second. 2%, 2%, 1%. Yeah, so you get half that again on an SFP, you might get a little bit of breathing room. You can only go down like, yeah, about a 0.5% below that. Anything more than that, and I'd be pretty nervous about that. I'd be pretty nervous at that point. Looks like it dropped to the 1. Yeah, I mean, we can see that we broke. We didn't break anything. We didn't break anything really worth mentioning. I mean, like, I don't know what your entry on that is, but I don't know, man. I feel like that's not in a particularly great position. This is a little bit of an internal break. You have a little bit of demand here. If you can kind of get this back on your side, start peeling off some of this stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to do that right here. But I hope that it does do that for you. Hope that it does do that for you. Not super confident about that though. I fortunately really feel like that's going lower. Let's see here. What else did I miss over here? XRP. Okay, already dropped below 2. ING and rare. Yeah, we can do ING and rare. Morning, Bullyberry. Potential PO3 at the local lows. You know, be nice. It'd be really nice, huh? At the local lows, he says. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either, Bully. I don't know how I feel about that either. I mean, I want to look for some love off of this area. I don't know if I don't know if I'm so hopeful. Like I don't know if it's going to be enough to break. Is that up to 30? Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough to like break 30-minute structure off of though. I don't know if it'll do it. I don't know if it'll do it. But it would be cool to see a range form down here. I think it would need to be bigger than this stop loss was. Not that that stop loss means anything right now. Yeah, something a little larger down in that area. Let's theory craft. Let's theory craft. We like hopium. Unless he was talking about XRP, but something tells me Bully was not talking about XRP. I don't know, man. It gets so uncomfortable down there. Um, I want to see it hang out there for a little bit, though. I wouldn't want any quick manipulation. I want like almost like an extended one, and I would want the initial low pulled. But I'm sure Bully would want that too. And for anybody not following me, we're talking about coming down below here and having some manner of like manipulation in this area to then expand bullishly back upon thy faces. I believe that's what Bully is, more or less what Bully is referring to. And that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be really neat. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense in this spot. Uh, well, actually, I take that back. I think it does make. I think it does make sense here. I actually do think it makes sense here because the entire purpose of it is to get people to go short, and I think it would. I think it would do that. So, I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at. What were we doing? I and J? No, no, no. Yeah, I and J and rare. I don't know, man. I think I and J absolutely laughed all my TA off the chart. I think it laughed it all off the chart. Laughed that off the chart. I don't think this coin likes me. I've been thinking of render. This one's not as bad. Well, that never got retested, so that'd be kind of interesting. But then this, before this, well, I mean, it has achieved the target of its bear flag. That this situation here. But it never retested into this. So I think that still deserves some attention on the chart. Let's get this big blue box out of the way. Let's get these guys out of the way. Let's fix that. But the problem is that, yeah, I mean that zone looks great, but after having kind of like peeled some of this liquidity here, you didn't snip that one. Still, it's like you're going to be under. You will have achieved some fairly bullish price action to get into a zone like that. I don't know if it's capable of providing a lower low if we get there, but that's okay because we're not there. That's like a next week at best. I will tell you, it's the way that we arrived here that makes me not want a long. Up before down. No, we want down, 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 then up. We don't want one of these to be above one of those before that. No, we don't want that. And unfortunately, that's what we have right here. Up and then down. And so that's not particularly great. That does not present well to be able to long here. We'll drop to 15 and see if it... What a mess. What a mess. What an absolute mess. I mean, it's like supply was working. It just looks so bad. I just don't think that looks good. Is there anything underneath us still that would like make sense for a long? Jesus, how long ago was that? I mean, not really. Not really. Yeah, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't really love any longs or shorts. As far as shorts go, I think I like this the most. But it's like such discount. Like it just has problems. Here's the only way that I would like this short more. We need to come out of this more and then crawl back up in here and then look to short there. But like my issue is if it rolls up from here to here, this is going to look like an SFP of this, and it's going to, yeah, no. I need initiation and then I could pay attention to a mitigation. But um, yeah, nothing prior to that. Nothing prior to that. God, and it even looks like shit when you go to the 15. Like it doesn't look good at all. Like that doesn't look like a zone I would really want to touch. Once I take that down to the 15, no, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a lot of help on this one. I don't think I have a lot of help on this one. What other statements we can make about this? If we go to the daily chart, I'd almost rather blindly long this for no apparent reason. It's just nothing. There's just nothing. It's just nothing here. There's just nothing here for me. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say if we can get back up above 91.44, 91.169, if we can get back up above there, yeah, when this alert triggers, I think we could potentially look at a trade. But until that alert triggers, no, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing on that. Nothing. Do I need that one? Is that the one I really need to? Yeah, it's pretty much the one I need. Yep. 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 You're gonna talk to me above daily market structure. We need to get the daily back on our side, and then I can talk about some trades. But in here, there's nothing for me to bite onto. Nothing at all. This lack of a close here is a moderately bullish sign so far. But no, 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 I don't like it. I don't like it. If I didn't say that 1,000 times already, let me tell you, I don't like it. Oh, that was probably a short. I don't know. I mean, let's give it some credit, I guess. Let's give it a credit. When I said that's a short, I mean I was like saying like to a new low. And that could just be. Let's not do that. Let's not trade against the structure. So let's go out to the daily. Let's clean this chart up. Figure out where this thing's sitting. So generally speaking, it likes to run up real big and then squiggle down. And then that's another run up and squiggle down. And the last time it did a run up and then squiggle down, it got into, it like filled pretty much the whole fair value gap. Went off demand, ran back up. Okay, because it looks like it wants to do a similar thing right here. So I just wanted to look at what it used to do. Kind of looks like it. Oh, I think it was even on the smaller time frame. No, I swear I saw it on like the 4 hour. Maybe I was just tripping though. Maybe I'm just tripping because it ain't on the 4 hour either. Got pretty close to it. You got pretty close to it. All it did was form an inefficiency that's likely to get refilled though. Yeah. That's where I would want to long it from, is down here. I would want to long it from down there, and in the interim, I would say if your 10 to 15 minute market structure, I don't have much of it. That's a 5 minute high right there. That's a 5 minute high right there. So I guess we have to use the 5. If your 5 minute market structure flips prior to it, maybe that's worth an attempt. Maybe that's worth an attempt. A run for one of these targets. in the event you can actually get something to happen prior to achieving a zone like that. These are the two targets I would have. And that's I'm just saying, like, if it happened before, right? If it happened before we got there, it would look something like that. Yeah, outside of that, I'm long down here, and I'm short up. Can we short there, or can we short? Now you could honestly probably short it right where it's at. Here's another idea for you. There's another idea. That's probably the more useful idea. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you're well over. Yeah, you made it all the way through to me. All the way through it. Kind of feel like that's more the direction of this thing. Let's play with a couple more time frames here. Did we hit the order block yet? Not quite. Yeah, I'd probably look at it a little more like that. That seems to make more sense. As long as it's not like, I don't know, like something. Fuck that oscillator. Yeah, I mean that would be continuation. I think the other short, if that is maybe up here. Good Lord, come on, brain. Kind of feel like this the first one is the more winningest idea. The second one basically indicates an SFP of the last 15-minute high. This being your candle, that being your wick. Yeah, because if you start closing the candle body above that previous high, like this, then you're going to look like you're returning your 15-minute to bullish. So yeah, I much prefer this one here. Yeah, that's what I got on rare, and then we talked about a long out of down here. Yep, that's where I'm at with rare. That one worked. That one worked. Thanks for recommending that chart. That chart looked much better. Far more useful for today. And then what was the other one? Oh, that was the other one. Good morning, JR. That's not good. Well, that finally hit that. Interesting. Did BTC do anything interesting yet? Do we have that somewhere? Let's get it here, please. Let's have it here. BTC, where are you? 38 time, yeah. Yeah. Seems about right there. All right. Well, yeah, like I said, not much for me to play with. This is not a trade I would have taken. It's just not, even though the risk reward on that would have probably been fuego. That's just not a trade I would have taken. What else do we got? I don't know. Let's go look at dominance. What's this thing up to? Poke around on some other shit. Filled the fair value gap and went up. Somebody was talking about this. I can't remember. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Somebody was talking about filling that fair value gap and coming up. Show enough. Show enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks super hateful. That looks like yeah, that looks like we got a target up here. Where's my thingy? Where's my thingy? Target. Yeah. All right, that sucks. Total 3 looks like absolute hogwash. Or is it total? I think a total is what I wanted. Yeah, looks so bad. Oh, it looks so bad. Yeah. Yeah, that really looks bad. That's quite unfortunate. What else? What else do we want to look at? Let's look at what is it? NQ. We'll look at NQ. You guys, Alpha. Alpha is Alpha a coin? Let's see if it is. Let's do some TA on it. So bad, so bad. Like we need this. We need this. We need this to hold. Oh lordy, we need an SFP here, but removing liquidity prior to interacting with the low is not beneficial. No, it's not. It's Alpha coin. Maybe Alpha's a coin. Clay the Great. Top of the morning. Top of the morning, Mr. Clay the Great. What was I going to? What was I going to? I don't remember. I don't remember now. So looking at this, saying that sucks. Oh, Alpha. We're gonna see if Alpha was a coin or something. Alpha. Alpha, 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 alpha. That's not gonna work. Do we have a dot P on it? Sweet. Okay, weekly. This thing's no, no. This is a no. Negative. Nope. Nope-a-roni. As far as I'm concerned, you could set one alert on that chart and come back to it if it triggers. And that alert would be 04265. I would set an alert there and I wouldn't even look at that chart again until it triggered. That's where I'd be at with that. I mean, maybe I'm missing data. Maybe there's something really cool back here and we're hitting into demand and gonna lift and I don't have that information. Be nice if I did, but I don't. This chart goes back to 2022 and quite honestly, even if it did look like this, does that matter? No, doesn't matter a lick. Because if you don't get bullish market structure back on your side, then what in the hell is the point anyway? So yeah, that's worth one alert to me and one alert only. That's where I'm at with that chart. Yep. Yep. I mean, I guess, if I was to set one more alert, it'd probably be right here. And I would look to short. Where's 0 on the chart? We'll go to logarithmic and we'll find 0. There you go. Good news is that it's still 100% away. Yeah. Yeah. That's the only other thing I'm interested in. Sorry, I had a little bit of fun with that just for myself. I'm on for another 10 minutes. I'm on for another 10 minutes. And then I'm out of here. XRP BTC, yeah. What's that? No. No. Nope. What was our biggest gainer for the day? Can we oh, is it rare? It was rare, huh? Bye bye, rare. Sayonara. Toodles to the loodles. I was going to say, let's go find our biggest gainer for the day and short it, but never mind. Biggest gainer on my watch list. We already talked about that. How about the second biggest gainer for the day? Can we short it too? Blink. Give me a blink chart. No, probably not. Might be the only thing longable today. Peeled all that before coming up. Peeled all that before coming up. Yeah, this might be the one thing you can actually long today. I like that it ran all of that liquidity before moving up and then ran all of that liquidity before moving up. That's pretty bullish. That's pretty bullish. Obviously, we got to get above this high and break it. Or we still have a problem. Is there an issue up here? Is there an issue with tissues at that high? No, it's probably short too then. That could also be a short. That could also be a short. I don't think you're going to get that low, but here. Can I get some volume data, homie? No, never mind. It wasn't helpful anyway. No, actually, it was helpful. It was helpful. You are coming into those highs with more bullish volume than you set them with. It's not a hateful look. Not a hateful look. Oh, maybe I'll short it. Maybe I'll short the damn thing. Nothing else, just for entertainment purposes. Or maybe I won't. Can we get the fucking exchange to work? Oh, I have to close there. What was up with rare? Maybe I want to short rare. I'm having a hard time being motivated to trade this morning. Can I still short you? Eh? Asshole. No, I'm not allowed to enter. Yeah, see. Can't win today. Can't win. Bum, 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 bum. I finally found some charts that are interesting though. I don't know. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Yeah. I think it's worth a go. Let's just send a little on this. There. Don't like that failure to close at the low. I don't love it, but okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's see. I think this is around the time I said I was going to leave. It sure is. Sure is. Yeah, this one is not as promising. It's just not as promising for a short. It's really not. Not with the removal of that and the removal of that. It's definitely not as promising. Rear looks totally different. It's doing it the opposite direction. It's doing it the opposite direction. Build here, remove, build here, remove. Maybe build here again, remove. I don't know. But it's doing the opposite. So yeah, so compound yeah, not nearly as confident about that. Let me see if I missed any last things in the chat before I start wrapping this up. Before I start wrapping, it's just here to say alpha in your chat because your TA is like alpha. Sure, sure. Hey, lots of love to the Alexo Crypto. Alex, I think I'm a short rare. Short rare. Somebody made me look at it, and now I'm gonna short it. Sui. 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 No, I don't want. I really don't want the spot chart. Wait, why am I digging through there? Don't we have it over here? Don't we have it over here? Let's see how bad I did on this yesterday. I feel like we did this one yesterday. Nope, nope, apparently we didn't. Not in a very tradable spot, in my opinion. It's not a really tradable zone. Oh, did we already hit that thing? Oh, what a bummer. I hate when I forget to do this. That's unfortunate. I mean, you have the ever so slight possibility of holding this range of price right here, but yeah, likely not with the up before down. Likely not going to be the case. Nope, likely not going to hold that. All right, so what would it look like? Is there anything super obvious? See, probably that 8-hour candle right there. This lacks a required a requirement. This we need to break below here, and then we need to squiggle back up into a place like that and short it. So it lacks requirement. And where was my low? Did I neglect to mark it like a loser? No, my low's right here. Okay, so I guess it can't break down that far. Can't break down that far. Maybe something little more like that. Yeah, we need to initiate below that low, and then look for a retracement up, and maybe you get an opportunity to refine that. I don't know. I don't know, but I think that's the only thing that could be coming in the near future that I would be interested in. Yep. Outside of that, no, no, and requires, and maybe we put a note here for anybody that gets confused about this. Put a little note here that looks something like this. The text box, please. Requires initiation below 21,810. Well, that didn't. There we go. Something like that. All right. Please read my question above, homie. All right. Okay. Hey, here we go. Sorry, I missed your question. Thanks for reminding me. So when running into demand and you have a 15-minute market structure flip right above it, does market structure take precedent? Always. It always takes precedence. Always takes precedence. So let's say we have our demand here. And I want to know if I understood this correctly. Let's say this is 15-minute market structure. Are you and I'm going to say you're talking about that, like you did that on the 15 to get into demand. Um, is this what you're referring to? So when running into demand and you have a 15-minute market structure flip right above it. Oh, no, I think I absolutely misread your question. Um, so it's like you're coming down in towards demand, towards demand, towards demand, and your 15 flips. Your 15 flips. In this kind of circumstance, yeah, I mean, I'm always going to take market structure over supply and demand. Always, always, always. But I would like if this was a really notable area, like say we were dealing with something more like 4-hour market structure in this, and this was a really, really notable area. I would ask myself, did we miss something that should have been mitigated prior to hitting there? You know what I mean? Like I wonder. I'm like, is this? Did we miss something? But no. Generally speaking, the simplest answer to your question is, um, I always follow market structure. I think it's very convenient that it tends to transition inside of supply and demand. But in all honesty, I think I draw. Yeah, no, no, yeah, market structure is market structure, and I would always follow the structure first. I wonder who recommended to look me up. So who recommended to look me up? Bye bye, rare. Bye bye, rare. So maybe we get short compound. I mean, this thing could have legs on it. I just don't know. I've already cautioned this 4 times over. Why am I talking about this again? Why am I talking about that again? It's that time, guys. It's that time where I think I need to leave. I think I need to leave. Big stretches in. Let's talk about some trade management over here. SL could move a bit. It needs to be all the way up there. And I don't think there's any good reason for it really to come back through this zone anytime soon. I don't think there's a good reason for it to come back in there anytime soon. You know, something like this, that makes perfect sense. But not something like this. That doesn't make as good a sense to me. All right. Oh, quick check of BTC. Yeah, we can go do a quick check on BTC. That's no problem. That's no problem. So we're like kind of hoping and praying for a little bit of love off of sweep of the sweep of these guys. I'm hoping for a little bit of love there. I don't even have an alert set, so I should probably fix it. So let's get an alert on this, because that's going to affect how I manage the rare trade anyway. And this doesn't even exist yet. I was theory crafting. I still feel a certain way about it, but it doesn't exist yet. And then on like a higher sort of time frame situation, yeah, let's get all that session volume off. Yeah, you know, we don't want to really see that lost. You come down and really start breaking this, and even if I see a retracement into here, I'm looking to bring it down to 76,300 or lower, because they're still very, very, very primary target. Get with the high. It hates me. They're still very primary targets below us. This guy, yeah. So like down. Yep. Yep. My only this is the only area in the chart in which that I think is capable of setting a higher high. It's the only area I think that is capable of setting a higher high. Oh, and we talked about a PO3 here too. We talked about a manipulation of below here for an expansion. Back up. We played around with the idea of it. I don't know if it makes a ton of sense here, but it would be a pleasant surprise. It would be a pleasant surprise. Dutch can this guy. He's such a Dutch canoe, man. Such a Dutch canoe. All right. Bye bye. I think if we flip after sweeping the lows, it's 95. You think if we flip after sweeping the lows, it's 95. Oh, like you want to target up to 95? That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah, I mean, let's surely hope we can flip those lows, or sweep the lows and flip. It's just, man, it's a very bearish approach. It's a very bearish approach, in my opinion. It's just very bearish. Yeah, those 2 4-hour candles coming into these lows is just really not encouraging. Just super not encouraging. No. No, it's really not. It's really not. I'd much rather have it approach the low looking more like this than like that. But whatever. Whatever. All right. Yeah, my alerts are set, and I am going to leave now. Bye bye, everybody. Have a great day. Mm-hmm.